The Queen of the Skies is one of the most iconic aircraft ever built on this planet. Not only the 747 was an incredible passenger jet, but it was also one of the most adaptable commercial aircraft, leading to a variety of modified versions accomplishing multiple missions. Because you have most probably seen our Part 1, in this video you will discover the Part 2 of the top 10 modified Boeing 747s ever built. The aircraft variations you will find in this top 10 are different from the previous one, so make sure to stick with me until the end to discover them all. Hit that like and subscribe button, and let's dive right in. Number 10. General Electric's Boeing 747 testbed. General Electric has been using a former Pan Am 747-121 as its engine testbed. It was the 25th 747 ever constructed and has tested many different engines such as the GE90 and the CF34. The GE90 has been used on most of the 777s and some Boeing 767s. General Electric removed all passenger carrying capabilities of the aircraft and installed 3 engine data gathering systems. The airframe was also strengthened so the aircraft could perform maneuvers needed for high engine inlet angle, fan stress, and inlet stability testing. The original 747 has been retired. GE acquired another testbed in 2010, a 747-400, which remains in service and is currently testing the largest jet engines ever built, the GE9X, that will fit the Boeing 777X. Number 9. Qantas 747 with 5 engines. On short notice in 2016, Qantas needed to transport an engine to Johannesburg. They decided that the quickest way to do this was to attach the spare engine to the left wing. This leaves the 747 with a very out-of-balance configuration, which was something unusual to see. The engine provides no power and increases drag on the left side of the plane. Pilots had to counteract this by applying a larger rudder input on the opposite direction. The autopilot was essentially keeping the aircraft balanced throughout the flight by acting on the rudder trim, but the manual handling of the aircraft was definitely something non-routine for the flight crew. The 6-ton Rolls Royce engine was successfully transported to Johannesburg on a passenger flight. What a weird sight that must have been for the lucky passengers witnessing this special moment. Number 8. The Boeing 747 SP. The Boeing 747 SP is a shortened version of the original 747 and was optimized for long range. The SP stands for Short and Pretty. No, I'm kidding. It stands for Special Performance, as Pan Am and Iran Air requested this 747 version in order to fly some specific routes. The SP is shorter than the standard 747 by 47 feet, which makes it the shortest version of all the Queen of the Sky variants. Its wings have been simplified, and the horizontal and vertical tailplane are larger. It only has 4 doors on either side compared to the usual 5 to compensate for its lower capacity. The passenger capacity on the 747 SP is 276 passengers, and it has a range of 5,830 nautical miles. One 747 SP was used for the Stratospheric Observatory for infrared technology, and others have been used for the transportation of different heads of state. Pilots that have flown the 747 SP testified that it's an incredibly powerful aircraft that has awesome performance and provides great power, especially during takeoff and climb. Strictly speaking, this is a standalone version of the 747, so some of you may not consider it as a fully modified variant. However, the fact that it has initially been ordered only by a few airlines, that it has a different design and different performances makes it, in my opinion, a special version of the almighty jumbo jet. Number 7. The Boeing KC33A. The Boeing KC33A is a modified supertanker based on the 747-100. It was originally designed to carry out mid-air refueling operations for the United States Air Force, but was rejected and the KC-10 extender was used instead. 4 of these behemoths were sold to the Iranian Air Force. The KC-33A was equipped with a boom for refueling and could haul payloads of around 200,000 pounds. Another configuration of the KC-33A placed an aerial refueling receptacle on the front end. To increase the ease of on-off loading, a front nose cargo door is used. Its huge size and weight meant it needed long runways to take off and land on. This was a primary reason why the United States Air Force elected to choose the KC-10 instead. Besides, 4 engines aircraft always need more maintenance, and therefore are more expensive to operate. Number 6. The 747-Z5. This 747 SP was originally constructed as a VIP aircraft for the Sultan of Oman. It has a very unique feature, a hump on its hump. The aircraft has an elaborate interior, and the extra hump is used for advanced telecommunications equipment. This technology includes radar and satellite communication equipment, so the Sultan can browse the web and make phone calls from anywhere in the world. Why the extra hump is necessary is mostly unknown, as the other 747s all have the same equipment without the hump. Some people speculate that it must be some form of intel used for defense, such as the US President's VC-25. The 747 was later operated by Abu Dhabi Amiri Flight before finally being sold to the Bahrain government. It is now part of the Bahrain Royal Fleet and flies regularly. Number 5. The Rolls Royce 747 testbed. Rolls Royce has acquired a retired 747-400 passenger aircraft from Qantas with the purpose of using it as a testbed for their engines. The 747 was modified by Aerotech for 2 years. Modifications included stripping out the interior, 364 seats, and the cabin area. Instrumentation and data acquisition systems replaced the interior to measure engine performance in flight. These new instruments will allow Rolls-Royce to test a wider variety of electrical and hydraulic conditions. In addition, this aircraft can fly faster and higher, and Rolls-Royce is able to test their planes in more situations to help develop the engines of the future. Number 4. The Boeing 747 Freighter. Some 747-400s have been converted into freighter aircraft due to their incredible carrying capabilities. The 747-400F has a maximum takeoff weight of 910,000 pounds, equivalent to over 412 tons, with a maximum payload of 113 tons. These planes have larger storage areas and bigger fuel tanks than the standard. It also has a strengthened fuselage, landing gear, and parts of its wings, all this along with new, larger tires. These planes are distinct because of their lack of windows on the upper deck. They have carried all cargo you can imagine, from Formula One cars to rare and endangered animals. Air France received the first of these aircraft, and Boeing have delivered 39 more. The 747-8 is Boeing's new freighter. It has increased payload capacity but a slightly reduced range. Of course, the catchiest modification of this 747 is the nose cargo door that opens upwards and simplifies loading and offloading of the containers. Number 3. The 747SR. The 747SR was a rare plane developed mostly for the Japanese market. They wanted smaller fuel tanks and larger payload capabilities. The first 747-100SR had a stretched upper deck, which allowed the airliner to have 498 passengers in the early models and 550 in the later ones. The body structure and landing gear were strengthened to accommodate for the added stress accumulated from a greater number of takeoffs and landings. Additionally, extra structural support was built into the wings, fuselage, and landing gear, along with a 20% reduction in fuel capacity. 7 747-100SR aircraft were built between 1973 and 1975, all for Japan Airlines. They had a 20-year life expectancy and were built to do in excess of 52,000 flights over the 20 years, which is far more than the standard Boeing 747 used for long ranges. Number 2. The first Boeing 747 prototype. The Boeing 747 is possibly the most iconic plane in history. Its journey started off in June 1966 when Boeing purchased land near the town of Everett. The factory built there, purposely for the 747, was the largest building by volume ever constructed. The very first 747 prototype was put on display to the public in 1968. During the test flight, the aircraft developed a high-speed flutter problem. This was fixed in later models by reducing the stiffness in some wing components and adding depleted uranium counterweights as ballast to the engines. Other problems included engine stalls caused by rapid throttle movements and distortion of engine casting. Afterwards, the aircraft served as a test bed for various system improvements and new engine developments for other Boeing aircraft such as the 777. You might not see any apparent modification at the exterior of the aircraft, but the prototype was designed to withstand all the possibly imaginable modifications in order to improve the aircraft and serve as the perfect testbed for the company. It is now permanently parked at the Museum of Flight in Seattle, where visitors can have a look at 747's banks of test equipment and an elegant 1960s-style upper-deck lounge. And here we go for the most impressive modified 747 of this top 10. If you've enjoyed the video so far, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so far. Also, you can check the links in the description of this video where I shared with you the best Boeing 747 models for you. Choose the one you like most and make it a part of your aircraft models collection today. Number 1. Virgin Orbit Cosmic Girl 747. Cosmic Girl is a 747-400 and was previously used to transport passengers. It was part of Virgin Atlantic's fleet to begin with, but then was purchased by Virgin Galactic in 2015. It was serving as the first stage launch platform for Launcher 1, the smallest orbital launch vehicle designed to carry small satellite payloads into sun-synchronous orbit. Cosmic Girl carries the rocket up to a high altitude over the Pacific Ocean and then releases it. Modifications mainly included strengthening of the wings in order to carry the heavy rocket, which mass was about 300 kilograms. Cosmic Girl was selected as the launch platform because the Boeing 747 structure is particularly suitable to carry a fifth engine under the inner part of the wing, as that part was designed to fit a spare engine for ferrying. Where the fifth engine would occasionally be situated is where the rocket is mounted, under the left wing between the inner engine and the fuselage. I find it particularly impressive to see a passenger aircraft carrying a rocket. Only the Queen of the Skies is capable of doing that. Which of these 747s have you seen in real life? Let me know by leaving a comment down below. If you want to watch more aviation top 10s, click on any of the videos you see on your screen right now. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.